Hi everybody, we're back. Now we're going to read the chapter, The Rescuer. We finish our zuppa and Granny Torrelli places the sliced oranges on 2 salad plates, and then she sprinkles olive oil and salt and pepper and parsley over the top. "Isn't that something?" she says. "That Prince Bailey coming to your rescue?" "Yes," I say, "it was something. And I'm thinking how I want to be the rescuer. I want to rescue Bailey. I want to fix him, give him new eyes, make everything easier for him." And Granny Torrelli, that mind reader, she knows I am thinking about Bailey, and she says, "So Rosie, are you going to tell me about that Bailey? Why are you so mad at him today?" I get up, go get the Braille books, bring them back to the table. "Watch," I say. And I open a book and close my eyes and run my fingers over the raised bumps. And I read. I am still a little slow, but I read. And when I stop and open my eyes, Granny Torrelli is sitting there with her eyes sparkly, shiny, wet. "Oh, Rosie," she says, "you did it. That smart head of yours is like a miracle. Show me." And so I kneel beside her, and I put her fingers on the page and let her feel the bumps, which are letters and words. "It's hard," I say. "You need to start with just a few letters." She hands the book back to me. "It's a miracle, Rosie. Bailey must be so proud." I close the book. "No," I say, "Bailey is not proud. Bailey is mad. That Bailey boy." And so I tell her what I have been wanting to tell her all night, about how it took me a whole year to learn the Braille, in secret from one of my teachers at lunch every day, sneaking the books home, opening them at night in bed, wanting to be a surprise to everyone, but especially, most especially to Bailey. And after school today, I went over to Bailey, so excited to show him. I flopped on the couch, yakking away about this and that, and casually, oh, so casually, I reached for one of his Braille books and I opened it. He was sitting on the floor, his back against my knees. He heard the book open. "What book is that?" he said. I told him. "One of mine?" he said. "Yes," I said. "Want me to read you a little bit?" He laughed. "Sure," he said. "Sure, you just go right ahead and read." He was feeling very smug, I could tell. So sure that I couldn't read his Braille book. I let my fingers move across the first line, and then I backed up and started at the beginning, reading aloud. "There is a place where I often go. It is cool and calm." Bailey whipped around, put his hands out, found my hands on the book. He pushed my hands away and grabbed the book and ran his fingers over the page rapidly. "You cheated," he said. "You probably got the regular book and memorized the opening." He slammed the book shut. I grabbed the book from him. "I didn't cheat, Bailey. Listen." I opened the book again and read the whole first page, and as I was reading it got very quiet, as if Bailey were not even breathing. And when I finished, I felt so proud. I thought Bailey would be so happy, so proud. I looked up at Bailey, but Bailey was not happy. He was not proud. He said, "You think you're pretty smart, don't you, Rosie?" "Yes," I said. "Well, get over yourself, Rosie." "What?" I said, "Get over yourself, Rosie." I felt as if all my blood in my body were pouring down, 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 right out of the bottom of my feet. I got up, started for the door, expecting, hoping, wishing he would stop me, but he didn't stop me. I opened the door, stepped out onto the porch with no words in me, no breath in me, just a loud wail going on in my head, and slam! Just like that, Bailey slammed the door behind me as if I were nobody. No buddy, no pal, just a nuisance nobody. Why? "Oh, Rosie," Granny Torrelli says. "Why?" I ask her. "Why did Bailey say that mean thing to me and slam the door on me? Why?" Granny Torrelli pressed her knuckles to her cheeks and said, "This is a tough one, Rosie." And then Granny Torrelli does a strange thing. She opens her hands and places them over her eyes, and I hear a little sound and see her chest moving up and down, and I can hardly bear it. Granny Torrelli is crying. And I get up and stand behind her, patting the top of her head, and I say, "Don't cry, please don't cry." And I am feeling so miserable because I have made 2 people unhappy today, and I don't even know why or how. Granny Torrelli wipes her eyes and motions me to sit beside her. "What did I say?" I ask. "Oh, Rosie, 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 you and Bailey, you were like me and Pardo, and you made me think about him." And so she tells me about the last day she saw Pardo. They were 16. She was going to America in a few days with her uncle. Pardo begged her not to go, but she wanted to go. America was everything. It sounded dazzling to her, full of everything, full of promise and excitement. She wanted Pardo to come too. Her uncle would loan him the money for the boat fare, but Pardo said it was crazy. She should stay in Italy with her family and him, and they could get married, and they would have children, and he would work, and she would raise the children and cook and clean and be the mama. And my Granny Torrelli told me she didn't want to cook and clean and to be the mama. She wanted to go to America and have adventures. Pardo got so mad at her and told her she was too full of herself, full of impossible dreams, full of crazy wishes. He told her, "Go, then go." And she was so angry with Pardo and went home that night and packed her 1 suitcase and did not leave her room until the next day when her uncle took her to America. And Pardo never wrote to her, and she never wrote to Pardo. And one day she got a letter from her sister saying that Pardo was untangling his black mangy dog Nero from the train tracks where his rope leash was stuck, and the train came, and that was the end of Pardo. He was squished. And so, Rosie, every day I am so sorry I was so mad at Pardo. Sorry I didn't write to him. Sorry he did not know how much I loved him. And we sit there, quiet. Granny is thinking about Pardo, and I am thinking about Bailey, and we are not eating our salad of oranges. In my head. We'll get that at the next meeting.